Okay, so it's 4. It's so weird too. When I looked over and I saw it was 4, I was like, oh my God, it's already 4? And Stella is super uncomfortable. I don't know if it's this fucking orthopedic bed that is, but she loves her bed. She like sprawls out on it. And the other bed, it was low, but it was much more narrow. This bed is huge. So, anyways, I don't know. That uh what was I gonna say? It was something else about her health, I think. I ordered some more the horse paste stuff because I was gonna do another round of that, and I'm gonna do a round on um Max too. There's something going on. All I can think of is it's parasites. And one thing is this girl's video is such a perfect um representation of what I've been talking about. So this girl's doing a video and she's crying and she's talking about the testimonial and she's begging for help. She wants people to pray and all this kind of stuff for her husband. So her husband was having a stomach ache and he was going to work and then he was like, it hurt too bad. So we went to the ER. He's been stuck in the ER for 4 days. No, I think they let him out the first time. And they said he was going to get jaundice over the weekend because he's having a gallbladder thing. See, this is what's so crazy is you have this whole group of doctors out there right now saying, do not take that out. Don't take it out. And explaining how you need it. And they keep telling us that we don't need it. And explaining why it's necessary. And we don't have parts we don't need. And so you have a whole movement going that direction. Then you have this whole other one in the medical. That's the thing. That's why I'm not going to go in there with this because right away they would start telling me it wouldn't matter if it was a tiny little bit left. They would still. I just know. I mean, that's their solution to everything. Oh, well, you need to do this. You need to do that. Because that's the way they're programmed. That's the way they think. They can't think outside the box. They can't look at things and think for themselves and let that thought go. It is like it's contained, it's controlled. They're on a script, on a narrative, and they can only understand this or that. And when you go outside of that understanding, then it like shorts them out or something. They just have to like, no, this is what you have to do. And so I'm gonna for my appointment, I'm going to call on Monday because my appointment's Tuesday. So I'm going to call on Monday morning and I'm going to tell them that my sinuses, which is true, they're always stopped up, is so stopped up, there's no way I can handle being drilled on. And so I'm going to cancel the appointment. I'll tell them I'm going to come after the first of the year. And then I will call and at some point when it looks completely like it needs nothing done to it, then I'll go by and show them that it healed by itself. I'll let them take x-rays or whatever the fuck I might want to do. If they think that they're going to be fucking tapping and drilling on that thing after it heals, they can. No, I don't care. If they do an x-ray and they look and they see something inside, as far as I'm concerned, it's showing that it knows how to heal itself. And it's been showing me that for a long time. Because, I mean, I can say it again and say it again, but the Hep C thing, that really showed me a lot in our abilities to healing. So because to me, in my mind, that's a death sentence. Even when I was giving these people these expensive one of these things, is it the prison when I worked there for whatever the 4 or 5 days I worked there, the guy, I think it was maybe a week and a half, and that's a whole story too. I was an inmate who started approaching me, writing me letters, and I didn't report him. So I think they were just looking for a reason to fire me. But anyways, I ended up having to go back to court for him because he did that all the time. And they kept showing he was a repeat offender. He was just constantly, yeah, any girl that came in his contact, he was predator. And so anyways, I just had to do a deposition over what happened. I didn't have to go to court, but they sent me all this stuff about what happened to him. He got a lot more time for his behavior and showing that he was continued to be a predator. So anyways, the what was I even talking about that for? Because I thought I was talking about my tooth thing. How do I get over on these weird things? Oh yeah, okay. So when I was there, all these guys had Hep C, and there was only one treatment, and it was this super expensive shot. I think each shot was like $1,600 or something. I don't remember what it was, but that was the only cure was this Hep C thing. And so I don't even know what it was. But the guys that would get okayed for it would get really excited because they'd have to put in papers and stuff and be okayed to receive it. And I think it had to do with whatever they're sent. I'm not really sure all the factors really. Because the whole prison system is so motherfucking shady. So motherfucking shady. And I think I just saw a thing that they're closing one down. There's going to be more closing. I think they closed down two. And they said that they were moving the inmates to other places. I can't remember where they were, but I was like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, they're going to be closing down more and more and more. Still, honey, just let me finish doing my work. Oh, this is going to be a rough one. And her medicine came, but I don't know. I think the bed is like, I don't know. I don't know. So anyways, these people would get that, and then it was like, it just brought it into my awareness. And so, like I said, you take these little things and you just kind of put them in your pocket and you go about your life. And then, years later, when I go to the doctor and they start telling me I had it, but I don't have it anymore, then I just have all the stuff, even when I was in school, and in nursing school, because at the time they were telling us that the Hep C was way more dangerous than the AIDS because it would go onto the counter. You could wipe the counter and then it would still stay there. You couldn't. It was really hard to get rid of it. Just like what I'm saying about the fucking CHMO, and they're putting it in goddamn water and all of us are drinking it. I mean, we are so overrun with fucking chemicals and shit. So so anyways, in all my perspective, I saw it as a death sentence. I thought it was like, man. And then when I went to the doctor and she wanted to do that physical that time, and then she's like, okay, so we got to do all these labs, and there's an epidemic in your age bracket for Hep C. And I was like, okay. And I'm thinking, well, there's no way I've got it. I'm healthy as can be. Like, it's been a few years. I'm feeling good. And so, they take the lab. I'm not thinking anything about it until she told me. And then and I went back in for whatever it was. I don't know why I had to go back in. There must have been some reason. Usually they'll just call and tell you. But she told me face to face. And so I got to ask a bunch of questions. And that is how I found out, like that I healed it myself. But that to me is huge. In my mind, that's huge. And our bodies have that ability to do that without any intervention. And that's huge to me. So all these other things, especially once my hair started turning, that was huge to me. That really showed me a lot. And so so on the tooth thing, that going into it, I was feeling confident because I had been seeing so many videos of people talking about it and talking about healing their teeth. And some people completely just say from that hydroxyapatite, whatever it's called, I got 2 of them. They came yesterday. And 2 different brands. And I used them both yesterday. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to use them both each day until it's healed. And then I'll probably just keep using it anyways because there's more. Now it won't surprise me if other fillings start breaking off because of this. And I'm going to get more information when I talk to her too. More of the history of this tooth because I'm trying to figure out. And I really feel like that is what happened, that there was a filling there and my tooth is like my body rejected it and now it's healing because now it's happy. Now it's like, look, got that shit out. So, and I'll show you because... Like, to me, it looks so much better all the time. Every time I look, I feel like, God, it looks better. So look at it. It looks so much smaller, and the black is getting smaller. The thing around the black is getting smaller, and that's what they were showing me. It would just keep closing in and closing in, and it would start to look like the black was disappearing, but they were showing me that it's actually healing in there. And then after I used that toothpaste, it seemed like there was more of that orange. And so then I thought, oh, the orange is the, like I had said, like this connective to this growing tissue. So, oh man, I was looking everywhere for a handkerchief and I couldn't find one. Like I was like, where in the hell? And now my nose is driving me crazy. So, yeah, I got a sweater on, so I'll just use the end of my sweater, wash it. Let me think what I was going to say. Okay, so the tooth thing, I feel confident that it's going to be fine. I don't want that go in there for any kind of thing because I feel like that they're going to try and make an intervention. I think they're going to make it like a big deal or something. Just the whole way, like when I was even there. Oh, you haven't been here since 2021. Well, you haven't been here since 2021. Okay, well, you said this like 5 times now. I've got it through my head. I haven't been here since 2021, and now I have a broken tooth. And then when they're like, okay, well, do you want us to do all of your teeth, or you want us just to focus on the one that's broke? I was like, just focus on the one that's broke. I just want to know what the hell's going on with my tooth. You know, like, I'm not coming in here for a whole long thing when I got a broken tooth and my fucking face is hurting. And my head, oh my God, a horrible headache. And it wasn't bothering my nerves so much that day. I don't think it was, but they were tapping on it, touching them cold shit. Like it was fucked, man. And, but the next day, and then I think it was the next day and a little bit of the next day or something, then I started feeling like, oh man, is it going to go in that direction? Is it going to, but I kept telling myself it was going to do what it was supposed to do. Everything's going to be fine. It's going to do what it's supposed to do. And, because everything is going to do what it's supposed to do. Whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. We can stand and we can try and force this and force that. We can whine and we can cry, but everything is going to roll out the way it's going to roll out. And so there's so much of just pulling back into that perspective and being like, well, I'm not going to get all caught up in this, whatever's going to play out. Because at that time, it was still, I mean, it was a weekend then too. And even though I had 2 people say, oh, I'll let you borrow the money to go get it fixed, it was still in my head. I kept thinking, no, I know this gap of time is supposed to be so I can heal it and I can see that I can heal it. And because I believe when our body is fully functioning, which they keep most people in a non-functioning position, and when your body's fully functioning, it can heal all this stuff. And to us, it sounds like, oh, what? We're magic, we're gods, we're superheroes. No, I think that's just the way it works. I think that's just the way our bodies work in this world, and we just aren't fully using them for what they can do. And there's learning through all the things, and that's what the universe is about, the learning. So it doesn't matter if you're doing wrong or right or whatever. It's all about the learning, and it doesn't matter if it takes you 100,000 years to learn something, or if it takes you, 25, is because there's always more lessons. So there's just more expansion and more expansion. Just because you learn one thing real quick doesn't mean it's not going to take you a real long time to learn another thing. Like I could have been working on boundaries for fucking lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And this is the first time where I'm really, really seeing and really, really understanding it. And this is where I was in this story with this girl who was crying and stuff, because this is what I have been talking about, where I was saying, like, she's like such a good example. So she's online and she's crying. Her husband's on his way to work. He has a stomach ache. He goes to the ER. They tell him he's got something with his gallbladder. He needs to get an appointment or something. And, but he's going to get all yellow over the weekend. And so he goes home, he gets all yellow over the weekend, goes back into the hospital. They can't, whatever, there's some kind of thing that they want him to do that can't be specialized or something. And who knows, like, they can keep you there waiting on insurance. Like, and this is the disconnect between the administration and the staff. because I've been staff. And when they are staffing the ER with patients that are there all day and all night, like that they are treating the ER as like another floor and expecting the nurses in there to tend to the patient and also take in the emergencies. Yeah, the staff doesn't like that. The staff gets mad. Administration thinks they can do whatever the fuck they want, and they you can make it where you can't transfer. There's all sorts of things. There's so much about staffing and how many people are on the floor. Like there's a whole fucking thing, and it's all done by these number running, and even when you are working and like they can send you home in the middle of the night. There's uh it's just weird, and it's all on this number thing, and they've pushed more and more on this number thing to make nurses take more patients, especially the aides. They started moving the aides up to having to take like 25, and then when the nurse is too busy because they have overrun them with the fucking charts and shit, so nurses have got to be putting in all this information and doing doctor calls and getting things for medicine. Like it's a whole fucking thing. And then they aren't available so much to help with the aides. And then the aides get mad. And everybody, there's a lot of resentment that is built up on all of these floors. And so there's a lot of anger and resentment. And then you're going into this place thinking that these people are going to be there to help you and take care of you. But it isn't. People can't make decisions for themselves over what is going on for them. They have to go to administrators, and administrators tell them how to do things or what to do, what to give people. Like it's crazy. And that is why we have the medical breaking down, where you have some doctors that are like, this is the problem. Insurance is the problem. We just got to be able to see patients and just deal with just the patients and figure that out. But we need more holistic doctors too, because we need more that understand our body knows how to heal itself, and that we need direction, and that people need help, because so many people also think that that they need to be consuming food, when really it is you need to be consuming energy. And so the whole way of thinking, like think of how many people have bogged down their vehicle by consuming food. Like they've got us going in so many wrong directions on our health. And so that's why we need more doctors, and they're more holistic and more that understand about what's going on with the poisoning and stuff like that. And the overrunning our filtration system with toxins. And like I had been saying, what did I just say a couple weeks ago? I said that they have got people's filtration system. So something goes into your mouth, it's got to go through all this filter system. And think micro, macro, because this is how this whole fucking thing is run here. And like school and everything, it's all this filter system and moving things. And so anyways, our body works like that. So you bring something in, and then your body distributes it. I feel so tired. Distributes it, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. It sends it out where it feels like it needs to go, where it's best represented. It's going to go there in your body to create a fully functioning vehicle. And that is, you know, it's like where you get problem where something like eats too much sugar or something, because then the place where that's going is getting overrun. And then because there's a whole thing even with the diabetes, the pancreas, like there's all this stuff that your body can fix this stuff. Insulin, like all these things are things that our bodies have gotten put out of whack, and we need to go put them back into whack naturally, because when we go onto their system is full of problems, and it's full of their control, because even on the insulin stuff, then they there's whole things going. I've seen stuff about, I think it's with the insurance thing, because that has been a big thing with the fluctuation over pricing and what they think that the people need and what the doctors tell them they need. Like there's a whole fucking thing. And see, you've got these people in control of your health then, instead of you just finding out you had something wrong and then trying to figure out how to fix it from the inside. And so that, and I'm guilty of it too. I'm sitting here with no fucking gallbladder, no fucking uterus, no fucking fallopian tube. So Yeah, I'm not shaming anybody. Um, this is, you know, the system. This is how it has worked. And I can tell you what's fucking flawed. And now at this point, I wish I fucking would have known, would have, should have, could have. I wish I would have known sooner so I could have done something different. But that's not the way it's meant to work. It's meant to work because of all the things that you learn through the process of the entanglements that you occur. And so so this girl is crying on the internet and she's wanting someone to come help with her, or somebody to send prayers and stuff for her husband, because she is worried now that they're just going to let him die. They're not doing anything. They're not moving him. The first day they had him sleeping in a chair, on one of their little recliner chair things or something. The second day they had him sleeping on a gurney. Yesterday, they finally got him a bed, but the staff's really pissed because they are on a floor and they're fixing, like they're putting him as a patient in the ER. Now, I've been in the ER when this kind of shit has happened. It's happened a lot. And people get pissed, man. Even when you have, even the floor nurse, the nurse manager, they get pissed too, because you got all these people coming in. You got the waiting room full because you have all these people who everything's an emergency to them. If they don't feel good, it's an emergency, and they don't take care of themselves. They don't have regular doctors, so they just go to the ER. Then you have a lot of people who don't have very much money, and they depend on the ER. And so it's a whole fucking thing. But there you have the waiting room will be full, and having the rooms full fucks the whole thing. They want us to have patients in it. And this is another thing on their fucking, it's causing a vibration in my chest. Me talking. That they want us to have the patients out of there, like, okay, if they've got a heart thing, you get 4 hours. If you have a stomach thing, you get 2 hours. If they have this is the administration shit. And so, and then the nurse manager, who's like the dick sucker of the administration, they are over there overseeing, because it's these certain personalities that get put into these certain places. And then the staff become more and more angry. And so anyways, and some staff are such ass kissers, man, because then they want they want the good, the better, easier patients when they come in and stuff. And then you get those fucking ass kissers just sitting out at the fucking nurse station, just yakking all fucking night. Fucking God. And you're over there running your ass off. It's like, this is some fucking, there's so much fucking bullshit in the hospital. Like, guaranteed there's fucking drama and fucking bullshit. And then even at the VA hospital, now it's come out that the staff is just having ORGIEs everywhere. They're just all banging it out with each other. They've all slept with like 35 people on the staff and shit. Like, they're all just out there fucking each other. So it's like, and this is where people go and they think that they're going to get healed and feel better. Like, it's so ridiculous. It's so fucking absurd. But so, so you got your staff, you've got your own patients, and they're coming and going, and you've got the pressure of these people telling you to hurry up. And then you got the doctors drag assing that you got her over there knobbing on them. It's like, it's so fucking, I'm telling you, oh, there's a reason why I went home pissed off, man. Give me some drugs, I can't take it. So, anyways, that was a hard fucking time in my life. I can just hear the emotion come up. It's like, what the fucking shit. Yeah, that was some fucking bullshit, man. So anyways, but that is, like, it's on all the different floors. It's on all the fucking bullshit. And so anyways, so this girl is crying because this is what I'm talking about. She doesn't know how to stand up for herself. She doesn't know how to stand up for her husband. She's never been able to be somebody who stands up and says, and she had asked for a hospital advocate so that the hospital advocate would do it. And then the nurse manager instead called the nurse manager in the ER and had a whole fucking decision-making thing. And so that They're just overriding her. They just don't care. And she has no boundaries. She doesn't know how to stand up for herself. They won't give her an advocate. They won't tell her anything. To her, it seems like they're just leaving her husband there to die. Nobody's doing anything. And she's bawling on the internet asking for people to send prayers and happy thoughts because she doesn't know how to stand up for herself. This is what I'm talking about. This is what the universe is doing, is giving everyone these opportunities. When you are hit with these things that make you uncomfortable, that's the direction you're supposed to go. That's where you go, right there. The part that makes you uncomfortable, that's why it's happening. That is what, and it's like, I try to say some stuff in the comments, but most people don't understand what the fuck I'm talking about. So, I mean, spiritual talk is like so out of most people's fucking realm of understanding. And so, I just don't even know, man. It's like, it's like the more I just feel like the gap gets wider and wider and wider. And so, anyways, but that is why. That exactly right there. When she's sitting there, I've got no boundaries. I don't know how to stand up for myself. I don't know how to stand up for my husband. Well, you do. You just don't want to because it makes you feel uncomfortable and vulnerable. And you don't want to be the bad guy. You don't want to be the mean one. You don't want people to think like, oh God, what a bitch. It is a self-preservation. It's a way to protect yourself because you are in judgment of somebody who would stand up for themselves. So you don't want to be that of what you would judge. And so you will stand back and let everybody stomp all over you, walk all over you. And I hope she doesn't have to lose her husband. I hope that's not part of the lessons. I hope, I told her, you're right. They will let him die. And you are the advocate. You are who you're waiting for. You are the one who's got to do something. And it is uncomfortable when you have to do things that you're not comfortable doing. I mean, that is a part of the healing process and part of the development of self is to do the things that are hard. And that is what the universe is pushing people to do right now. And people just don't understand it. Like I can't even get over the videos over there in this area where they're just keep showing how devastated it is and nothing's happening. Okay, we can sit here for fucking 5 years and nothing's gonna happen. Even when Donald gets in, there will be, I don't know how it will go, but they are not going to go in and try and keep the people in these places. I don't think so. And I think that there's going to be, who knows? Who knows? I don't know how it's all going to play out. I mean, there's so many aircraft or UAPs and stuff over here by us now. All the time I keep seeing videos. And Linwood, Tacoma, Olympia, they're all over the place over here. I'm sure if I went out, I would be able to see some, but I would have to go out into a place that's a clearing in the dark. And no, I live by the forest and stuff. It's like, no, I'll just sit here. I trust. I believe it. And I don't need to see to believe. I saw them a long time ago and I was talking to them my whole life. I've always known that they were there and I'm not scared of them. And so I'm excited. First contact to me is like, I'm hoping to get to meet some of the people who I've been talking to for my whole fucking life. And so it's super exciting. And there's nothing to be scared of, but there is so many people who are so scared. People are so scared of the unknown. And I don't know. It's kind of funny because, like I just saw this video. This girl's always doing these videos talking about the weird stuff and everything. And so she does DoorDash or something, delivers food. And, she got a call and so she goes the address and she has a partner with her and so they go and drive out to the place and it's a cemetery. So she starts doing a video like, what the fuck, who ordered the food? I'm in a fucking cemetery. And then the girl who's with her said, well, there must be a house, go up there and look and see. They go up there and pull up, but the house is gone. It's been dilapidated, it fell down, burned down, it's gone, there's no house there. And so she's freaking out and she just wants to hurry and leave. I would be, I find it curious. Like, it's very curious to me. I don't know that, I don't know that I would want to be in the cemetery at night, but, and I've heard some creepy stuff because I had a whole bunch of people in my family, like my daughters And like I had said before, one of the grandmas, because now I got two Mexican grandmas, all for my kids. Like I'm one grandma, but then all the grandmas. So I got two Mexican grandmas, and then Indian grandma, or Native American. I don't know which tribe, because I think that that's what we really are supposed to be referring to. The people want to be referred to as their tribes, but you know, because they are the native ones to the land. That is their land. Indigenous, the tribe people. She's a tribe person. Or she comes from the tribes. And then let me think, is the other one I think is just like me, just white person. And is that all the grandmas of the grandkids? Yeah. So they got two white ones, two Mexican ones, and one Native American one. Well, anyways, so when my daughter got pregnant in high school by her boyfriend, and that's the family, and there was kind of a thing then, over how how it should play out. Like I thought my daughter should stay home, finish school, and I would help her with the baby. But she wanted to rush out and, be together with him and start her life as an adult. And even though I thought it was like not going to work out the way you think it's going to work out. And then she got more support over there. So she was like, her daughter for a long time. They were real close for a long while. And I was the problem because I wanted her to stay home, go to school, and get a good job so that she could be independent and always be able to take care of her daughter. And so anyways, but so this family has been in our lives for a long time. And they have 3 kids too. So it's, and they were together for a long while. But when they were younger, so he has a brother. His little sister was way too young. He has a brother who's just a little bit younger than him. And then she has sisters that are a little bit younger than her. And then his brother and her sisters are around the same age. So they all start going out and doing stuff together. And I don't even remember when this was, because they went up, because when we lived out on property, then we lived up by that big Catholic church that I talked about. And it was, it's like one of the older ones, and it is one of the more, when you figure out like the rules of religion or whatever, then some are like more lenient, and then some are a lot more stricter. This is one that is based on very strict rules. It was very weird just living up there, because there was a lot of the families lived up there. And so it was just weird. Like, it was very weird. Like, even when you would go walking, because the kids' school was like 60 kids in it. And we would go out and do field trips, and I was a home mom, so I would go and do all this stuff, and I could take my, because I had a toddler and a baby too at some point, and I could bring them with me. And so it was a real homey, it was really great. I loved it until they started saying that my one daughter, her behavior things and stuff, but it became a big issue about the attention deficit at this little school. But anyways, on some of the field trips, we went out to these little burial grounds that were like from the Indian or the native people to the land that were right there. And it was like, that's weird. So we're going walking back here, this little burial thing. I don't know, it's weird. But I also lived across the street from a little tiny cemetery. And so I was just kind of like, man, they just buried people all over the place around back in the day. And so there's all these people that are buried around there anyways. Who knows, like, what kind of burial ground we're even on. But anyway, so over at the church, so across the street from me is a cemetery. Back behind me is a couple of little ones of these little Native American ones, which, knowing more about our history and stuff, it gets a little creepy. Then over at the church was like, so across the street And then they had a long driveway. So they had a big freaking yard. I don't think there was another house. I think it was all church field when I crossed it. Oh, no, there was another, because there was another farmer guy. Yeah, and that farmer guy, he had all that property. Then I think, but anyway, so the church was right there and it had a big cemetery. And so there's a lot of fucking dead folk up on this hill, man. And so at the cemetery, see all the kids, my daughter, her fella, the siblings and stuff, they all went up there. They decided they're going to go to the Catholic cemetery, and they're going to have a seance out there. And so they go out there and they're all sitting there doing their little whatever, some grave or something. And they all of a sudden see eyes looking at them. And so they all start looking over at these eyes, and they're green, and they're watching them from the tree. And I can't remember the whole story, but they all got super scared, and it started coming closer to them or something, and they all start running to run and get in the car, and this thing is chasing them. Whatever it is, these green eyes are coming after them. They all run and jump and get into the car and take off, and they see the lights in the mirror as they're going. But the thing is that especially the brother of my son-in-law, but we're like, we always were just like family. So we were just family. Like, he would call me his mom when we were out and stuff. So he was like a son too. And he told me that he got super depressed. He said he was like, you couldn't shake it. And it was like for like a year and a half or 2 years. And he always blamed it on those eyes and stuff. Because see, it's that energy, and you're pulling in this certain energy. You're going to find it. It's going to pull towards you. You pull in what you're putting out, and so it will come to you. So when you're out there trying to pull in negative energy, it's going to come into you. And there's certain ones riding that wave, and I mean, apparently they have green eyes and they'll chase you around, and they are able to, it's not like put a spell on you, but you've got their energy on you. That's why, like, even when I was saying about, like, the eyeballs, how they keep coming at me, man, they were coming at me last night. Fuck, last night was so goddamn intense. The energy was so fucking intense, man. I was like, I am never going to get to sleep. This is insane. But the eyes, man, they're constantly coming up, and they all try all different things. Like, they tried, like, the one where I noticed at first, wasn't it the guy with the blue eyes? And it was like at a mall or something. And I was standing in this mall looking around at all the people, and I see this guy way over, but these blue eyes catch my attention. And so I start looking at the eyes, and right away they start coming towards me. And fast, they come fast, man. It's like you give them your attention. It's like, woo, it's like all these beings are out there looking for attention, man. So, because you give them life there for a minute, you give them a feeling of life, I think. And then plus, I don't know how many of these are able to pull you into their own portals. Like, there's something weird about this. And so, so they came up so fast and so close to my eye, and I popped my eyes open like, what the fuck? It totally freaked me out. And that was after the one where I was laying there, and all of a sudden I saw this light, and I thought, what is that light? And it started pulling in fast to me. And that is that one where I felt like, fuck, I'm gonna go fucking through that portal. And I opened my eyes real quick to get out of that one. And then that one, and then there was more. It kept being like, I don't know, like the eyes work. She notices the eyes, so it kept being all these people showing up all over in my fucking, I don't know, it's not like dreams. It's like, because I'm not totally asleep. It's like this part of going into this relaxation in your mind and just letting your mind just go. And then there's these people that come. And so they come, and it's got to be this other realm, is what I'm thinking. This other realm that we're here, in the, because we don't just leave and go way out into the heavens. I don't think. I think we are kind of like your higher self's out in the heavens, but you are in this containment thing. There's only a certain distance you can go in these other realms for your consciousness. I think there's like a holding thing or something. And some people may go out, you know, I mean, there's lots of people that go out and just fly through space and stuff. But I mean, why do you think that's way far? Is my question. Like, because I feel like that there is all these beings, especially when you start realizing like the CIA and stuff is policing this realm. So it's obviously pretty big thing, you know, if they're out there policing it. So, you know, I think that we just go kind of in this other kind of realm, and then they pay attention. They watch for people who become lucid in that realm. And that is where they, I don't know, that one guy, he said that they grabbed him. He said it was like they came and made contact with him and he couldn't control his energy. They just took him into a place. And once he got into the place and they started questioning him and stuff, and to me, it's like, that's where you don't want to go. That's where you end up like Corey Good or something. Once they get a hold on you, because then they just try and use you for whatever you can do. Whatever you can do that everybody else can do, they want to use you for it. And so I don't even, and I don't know who the guy is. It was just when I was back in 2015 and 2016, or 2015, I'm sure was the Dark Night thing. It was the healing part. It was at some point in 2016 when I was doing better. And then I was looking and watching all these videos and stuff. I was trying to understand more about this, what was happening, because I was having just weird things. It was just like, you know, where I was, the one that was really getting me at the time was that the people need the Bible for the rules to not kill somebody. Like they don't have it in them to just know in their heart that they shouldn't do it, that they don't do it because the Bible tells them not to do it. That freaked me out. And then and then another one where I started telling people, nobody owns the earth. How are they selling us the earth? Like, how could that be that they would be selling us the earth? That doesn't make any sense because you can't own it. And so it's all those kinds of weird things. And I'd want to talk to people about this. I'd be like, have you ever thought about this? Like, this is, and everybody be like, okay, well, we got a party together. We got things, you know what I mean? Everybody was very caught up in what was going on. And nobody was stopping and slowing down and thinking about this shit. And then when you find yourself in this isolation of consideration, then it is, it's like, that's where I started looking online on YouTube for other people. That's where I found Aaron Dougherty, I think his name is, and he was talking about his awakening and how he started seeing weird things and people started thinking he was so crazy. So I was like, okay, so this is just something that's happening. And then I saw other videos and different things and different people and stuff. And even to the point where I was watching these different people, but then once shit start going down is when I started seeing like, these people they're not like as connected as they think they are. Like, that was very mind-opening too, because it was all these spiritual people, but they were not, they weren't awake. They were saying things that weren't right and stuff. And then I was seeing so many, you know, like getting this and talking about this. And then there's still so many on the tarot and stuff all the time with the gender stuff. I was like, man, they just really don't see what's going on. And they're out there leading people in spirituality. So I was already seeing holes in it. And then it just got more and more. Like at the point where I was telling my daughter something and she started telling me I was wrong because what she was seeing in this new spirituality thing, I was like, no, this new spirituality is wrong. I've been living this. Like, what the fuck? They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And, but, you know, it ends up being that I'm the one who's got the issue because this new spirituality just took off on its own fucking thing. You know, I even see people still saying, you know, go watch The Secret and stuff like that. The Secret is a little misleading because they're a little misleading on all of this stuff about manifestation, because manifesting your best life is you going towards your best life. It's you trusting yourself and going in the direction of your best life. And most people, it's not about manifesting. I still hear them. I mean, they're still out there. Who was that one? It was somebody I just saw yesterday talking about it. You're going to manifest your best life. Then you want to manifest a lot of money, and you want to manifest a good job. You want to like, what? That is not what you want to be fucking manifesting. A lot of money, a lot of pressure, a good job, so it takes up all your time, and a big house so you can show everybody that you have a good job. And it's like, it is also three-dimensional. It's not the direction you want to go. And besides the fact that we are all on our own destined ride, and so if you are not meant to be rich, you're going to sit there and drive yourself crazy trying to get rich, thinking you're doing something wrong. Why isn't it working for you? It worked for that person. Why isn't it working for you? Because that's not the formula to life. The formula of life is not just to figure out what it is you need to do and then go and try, just do it until you bash your head into a wall and it's bleeding. No, you knocking on every door, pounding and pounding, let me in, let me in. I know I'm supposed to be in here. No, the doors that are for you will open up. The doors that are meant for you will just open with the time that they're supposed to open. It's not that you have to stand out there trying to force something. And that is where that is misleading. What they try and tell people on the manifesting is that you can just manifest anything you want, which, by the way, is, if you remember when I talked about going to the thrift store, and that I would always envision what I want, and then I go and I find it. And then I saw somebody talking about a video doing it, saying that she had just found out that there's people who do that, and that she was just totally tripped out. She was just like, you know, how? I mean, she was just like so weirded out. And it was on a different video that she was responding to, that she had seen, and all these people saying it. Then on her video, I went in and said, you know, whatever, you know, yeah, I've been doing that the whole time. And tons and tons. So there is tons and tons of people who do the same thing. You want something at the thrift store, you got to picture it. You picture it in your mind, and then you could go and you could find it. So that, to me, is manifesting. That is a part or a property of manifesting. But then if you sit there and you think, well, my life's journey is going to be, I'm going to be a millionaire. Honey, you're okay. Come here, sweetie. How long have I been talking? That your life's journey, your life's purpose is to be a millionaire. And if that's not what your life's purpose is, maybe your life's purpose is to come in and learn boundaries. Like, you know, I don't know. And maybe those boundaries are going to take you into a place where you're going to form your own business and you're going to make money or whatever. But it's different than just sitting back and being like, trying to manifest millions of dollars or a big fancy house or something. They just get people to do the focus on the wrong thing by the way that they go at manifesting, because there is purpose in poverty and there's purpose in having money, but that's what it's about. Just like the way you look or what gender you're born, it has to do with your purpose. It has to do with what you're here to learn, what role you're here to play. And so everything has a point, but the point doesn't matter to anybody else. Like the color of your skin should make no difference to anybody else. The gender or anything should make no difference to anybody else. It's just the role. It's just the perspective that you are here to born to witness or to unravel or to create, however you want to look at it. So it is, that is like a set thing. And when you're trying to change something that is set, then you are wasting your life. But you would figure out it was set when you would get more into contact with your own self. Then, because your own self will give you guidance. They would tell you, go this way or go that way. And I'm really getting concerned about if there isn't some kind of CA thing going on down around her business or lady business. That but I'm gonna do the horse pace again. But what was it? Oh yeah, because the lady who his husband's in the hospital, and his filtration system is so stopped up. That's what they said. His gallbladder is full of sludge, and so his whole system is stopped up. And this is what I keep trying to say, is this is why we got to keep our system clear. It's going to, in your lymph, I swear to God, that is what is going here, is this clogging of some kind of drainage system. And I got to keep working on it. But hold on, there's all these things coming in my head. It's like, so the drainage system, to be fully functioning, it has to be able to have all this stuff drained. But see, this is the thing, is where they're clogging it up with all these toxins. And then I think these bots are meant to do damage on us. And still, what do you want me to do, honey? What do you want me to do? I'm almost done. Can you give it a rest for a few minutes? Oh, God, she's so cute. She starts licking her bed. Oh, I love you so much. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, you're so precious. And then she has the funniest, like, a roller over. And when she starts covering her face with her, oh, she's so cute. She's like this little, she does all these things like a little tiny dog does, only she does it in just giantness. Let me see. Okay, so when you are trying to manifest the dream life of yours, if it is not going towards what you're here to do, you're going to find nothing but frustration. It's not going to work the way you think it's going to work. Just like back when I was trying to create mine, and had a nursing job, and I was just out traveling around, doing all this traveling, nursing, going to all these different places, working. What was that? That was something about traveling nursing that was coming into my mind, because I had seen something. Oh my God, just a minute, please. Oh, today's gonna be a fun day. We're gonna make it a fun day. So anyways, if you aren't girl, if you aren't going in the direction that you're meant to go, then you're going to run into problems. It's so funny too, because even when I was going in the other direction, I was being told, like, I had people reading my palms. I'd be going out to like, we went to the fair a couple times, and we'd go into what was it? It was like a palm reader. Went to a palm reader. I went to a future person, whatever reader person. I don't remember how she did it. At a fair. And then there was another one. I got all these messages. I was just getting all these messages over and over, all this same thing. And I couldn't figure it out. Like, I was like, I don't know how that happens. I don't know how that happens. And so I didn't know. I just kept going at my life. But then, the universe was like, no, you're going in the wrong way. And so, I ended up having a brain injury, and everything falls apart, because that is what's going to go down. Everything is going to fall apart when you're going in the wrong way. And that's why it can be super frustrating, and people start feeling like they're not in God's favor or something, because their whole life is falling apart. But it's falling apart because you're going in the wrong direction, because you have a pre-planned destination. You have a place that you're heading from the time that you were birthed. And there is a journey on the way of you getting there. And a lot of it is learning about how to love yourself, love everyone, and how to have a loving day. So I'll talk to you later, because I can't do it. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.